Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, teachers and judges, and all the respected audience. Do you guys know that many of our city landmarks are actually being at a very high risk of being forgotten? Oh no, that's very bad. But that's okay. I'm standing here in front of you all because I'm going to tell you about a really short history on how to prevent that from happening. Okay, so I assume most of you guys probably have heard of Gunung Mas, right? Some of you guys probably have visited it once or twice to experience many fun activities and see many fascinating things or views, right? Okay, so as you know nowadays, even though entertainment tourism in Bogor has been bustling, agrowisata Gunung Mas remains a popular choice for many tourists. And as you know, Gunung Mas is placed high up in the green hills of western South Indonesia, our place, our home. Okay, so it is not only beautiful, but it is also full of interesting history and culture. So, shall we take a journey back in time to see what makes Gunung Mas so special? Sure, but first, let me tell you a little bit secret about Gunung Mas first. Do you guys know that Gunung Mas actually had a little bit of deep history? Not actually a little bit, it is actually so many of them that it is almost uncountable. So that's why I won't have enough time to tell you all that one by one. So I'm going to tell you about the history that is the shortened version of it. But first, let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Guriang Sunten. I'm from ET11 and my teacher is Mistress Guriang. So let me tell you what is the history behind Gunung Mas. So, our story began in the 1900s when the Dutch settlers came to this lush area. They loved the cool climate and the rich soil, so they decided to start a tea plantation. And one of the most famous one there was the Gunung Mas tea plantation. You guys have heard about that, right? Okay, so it started with a really small farm, but soon it grew into a major tea producer, which was very important for the local economy back then. And the tea estate with its wide tea field and its old colonial buildings quickly became a landmark. And Gunung Mas Tea Estate keep its old-time charm while adding some modern touches. But you guys, Gunung Mas is actually more than just a tea estate. You see, these landmarks here are the key to keeping the old traditions and culture alive. This old landmark is like a living machine. Visitors can walk through the tea estate, the tea field, and see how tea is grown and processed like it has been for generations. Visitors can also participate in tea tasting ceremonies, and they can also learn about different types of tea. By the way guys, these types of activity actually help the old tradition alive. And the old colonial building with its old traditional Indonesian and European style is reflecting the region's old and rich cultural history. And imagine you walk into this tea field and you see many workers skillfully picking up the tea like they have done it for years. Like, oh my god, they are so skilled. And the air, they smell so fresh and earthy. And you visit all the old colonial buildings and you see the uniqueness of European and Indonesian style. And each of the building has its own history, connecting from the past to the present. And saving these landmarks are just not to keep the structure maintaining and to keep the structure standing, but it is also to keep the traditional tradition and the cultural customs alive. And by saving these landmarks allows us to help and protect the future generations to learn and enjoy from these historical sites. Okay, so in conclusion, saving these landmarks are very important, and I hope from this story sharing session from me is going to be very important for us to protect our amazing landmark. But first, before I end the story sharing session, do you guys know what else is amazing? It's us, it's everyone, it's us, it's we all. And why are we amazing? And it's because we are willing to protect all these landmarks and protect our heritage. So, thank you all for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.